Hey, Shadow Riders Army, you want to start your own podcast? Well, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere in places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So go on over and download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM. Anchor. Check it out. Peace.
Full tank of gas. Haters trying to stop me cause I'm moving too fast. I stay rolling on my grind with my money on my mind cause I'm riding, y'all. I'm riding fast, approaching red line. I'm ready to blow. Ballin' till I'm falling, I ain't trying to move slow. Play a holler at you later.
Yeah, Richie 10 Shadow Riders, listen. Yo, I'm on the top of the game. Hard body on top of these lanes. Switching gears in the Maserati. Driving insane as fly as can be. Giovanna rim size 23. Shit, I'm as high as can be. Ladies call me handsome. Way before I did the Shadow Riders anthem. Now I'm sitting in the Black Phantom. More than they can handle. I play the ball hard in the car, it's coming out the front panel. What you know about that? But I ain't T.I.P., I'm R.I.C. K-Rock, I show you how to stay fly in the daytime. With Shadow Riders on my side, hopping up the G-Ride, I stay live. The boy wonders, not a talk of the town. Toasted up, never boast, yeah, I'm holding it down. Gunning for now, these tough Burger King niggas coming through steady, keeping the crown. While I'm in the fruit punch jag, popping up, riding around. Believe me, dog, this is real as it sounds. Shit.
Shadow Riders Ignition.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. All about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
The Shadow Riders ethos. Yeah. I will be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind. I will never, never, never give up. And I will never, never, never accept defeat. I will think only of the best, work only for the best, and expect only the best. I will be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own. I will give so much time to improving myself that I have no time to criticize others. I will be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the persistence of trouble. I will think well of myself and proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but in great deeds. I will always surround myself with people who are faithful, accountable, and teachable. I will bring discipline, momentum, focus, determination, will, and tenacity to every challenge. I will always have the courage to follow my dreams. I will always stay humble and down to earth. I will always be real, straight, and authentic with people. I will never forget where I came from and where my true power is. I will always represent myself and my crew with pride and style. I will be driven because I am part of Shadow Riders, and together We are unstoppable. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show. I am your host, Shadow, aka Shadow Riders Leader, Shadow Riders Alpha. We're going to talk about Initial D and what it did for JDM Culture right after these messages. Great show today. Great show today.
SCW Performance, Dallas Fort Worth's best race shop. Located on 1620 Interstate 35 Frontage Road, Carrollton, Texas 75006. Open Monday through Fridays 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. They offer performance installs, engine builds, repair estimates, and much more. For more information, call 405-201-7999. SCW Performance. Audio Depot, Arlington's premier spot for car audio installation. Located on 4312 Matlock Road, Arlington, Texas 76018. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. For more information, call 817-466-2441. Audio Depot. Tell them Shadow Riders sent you. Game Over Video Games, the ultimate retro video game store. Buy, sell, and trade the classics such as Atari and Television, Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, Saturn, and more. Located at 4648 South Cooper Street, Suite 240, Arlington, Texas, 76017. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday, 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. For more information, call 817-468-4263. Game Over Video Games.
You are now listening to the Shadow Riders Ignitions radio show, all about the JDM life.
Shadow Riders, baby.
Welcome back, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, Shadow Riders and Shadow Riders Zets. Welcome back. I am your host, Shadow, aka Shadow Riders Leader, Shadow Riders Alpha. We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about the anime Initial D and what it did for JDM Culture. Very, very important anime. Your boy loves anime. I'm a huge anime fan. Man, I see like one day in the near future, man, going on tour with me and my musical family, all my Shadow Riders crew, my car club crew. We're going to take this on the road. We're going to hit up all the anime conventions. We're going to show them Phantom. We're going to show them this great music. We're going to show them this JDM Car Culture. And we're going to talk about stuff like Initial D, because that was like a groundbreaking anime on the topic of JDM culture. But right before we get into it, I need to tell y'all to follow us on Twitter, Shadow Riders on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook, Shadow Riders on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Google Plus, Shadow Riders on Google Plus. Make sure you do that. And I need to make sure to tell all my Shadow Riders worldwide to make sure that you are following your LS procedures. I need you to like and share these shows. I need you to murder that like button. I need you to murder that share button. And I need you to murder that subscribe button if you haven't already. Because the more that you guys like and share these shows, the more we can do. The more you guys hit that like button and hit that share button, that just gives us more resources to do more of these shows. So all that help is greatly appreciated from all my Shadow Riders worldwide. Much love to y'all. Much respect to y'all. I'm so thankful for y'all. All right. Special shout out to my musical family, Lameek and Groove Village, and the homie Al B Slim, what up? J Catalyst, the homie Ivan James, the homie M Squared, the homie ADK, and Band Nerds. Shout out to all my musical family. Much love and respect. All y'all are the dopest of the dope musicians. Much love. Shadow Riders there. Got your back. Make sure y'all holler back. Shadow Riders, y'all go reach out to all those musical family and show them love. All right. Moving right along. Yeah, I'm a real big anime fan. I watch all kinds of anime. That's like part of my lifestyle. And I think anime is a great vehicle. It shows, they use it as a tool to like illustrate life in vivid color, man. So I'm really big in anime. Shout out to all the like cosplayers and people who are anime reviewers. Shout out to y'all guys, man. Y'all, like, that's what's up. Y'all have the culture, the anime culture in America now, Europe. It was always in Japan. Japan is where a lot of the anime started. Some people say it started back when Walt Disney picked it up, but like what Japanese culture did to animation just man, changed the game. Now we call it anime. And one of the biggest anime that is out there, especially pertaining to JDM culture, is a show called Initial D. And we're going to talk about what Initial D did for JDM culture. First thing it did, it really did a good job of telling the story of the original JDM group, the original creators of the JDM culture. It tells a great story about that, right? It tells a story about the battles, the time attack battles, the uphill battles and the downhill battles, and those back roads in the mountains of Japan and different togs all throughout Japan. And that's a true story. The big homie, much respect to Tsuchiya-san, the original Drift King DK, he tells the same story. That's when it started. Racing in the back streets and the hills of Japan, and then in the circuits, he started drifting, back there. But everybody perfected their skill at drifting up in them hills, and that's what the anime Initial D is about. It's about a young kid, Fujiwara is his last name. I forgot his first name, and he drives a Toyota AE86. Affectionately named the Hachiroku, or 86 in Japanese. Really, really iconic, famous car. And I believe everybody in Japan knew about the Hachiroku, the Toyota AE86, before it became, famous in America. But I think one of the things that really made the AE86 famous was famous elsewhere from Japan, like in Europe and America and South America and everywhere else that people watch Initial D, have seen Initial D. I think Initial D made the AE86 famous. Before people started watching Initial D and embracing the culture of JDM Car Culture, nobody really rocked. You didn't see anybody tuning the AE86, which is really just like a basic Toyota Corolla, really, like in America. Over there they call it 11 or AE86. I forgot the other name they call it, but in Japan they call it 11, or AE86 11. But over in America, I think they just call it a Corolla. It's just like it's like a simple hatchback. But in the story of Initial D, this kid has a white and black AE86, and he has Fujiwara tofu shop. He runs errands for his dad. His dad is, Mr. Fujiwara Sr., and his dad, what they don't tell you until later on in the story, his dad used to be a professional race car driver in circuits, and he retired, and in order to spend more time with his son, he retired from racing and he started a tofu shop. So what he does, he has his son, sometimes Mr. Fujiwara's dad makes the deliveries, but every morning, like early in the morning, like 3-4 o'clock in the morning before the sun comes up, he tells his son, hey, I need you to go make these deliveries, deliver all this tofu. And he gives him this AE86 to do deliveries in, and he puts Fujiwara tofu shop down on the bottom right passenger side, the driver's side in Japan, for the tofu shop, to advertise, right? And all the while he's telling his son to deliver tofu, he's teaching him how to drive like a race car driver. But his son has no idea, because growing up, that's all he knows is what his dad taught him. So to him, he's just driving regular. And as he becomes a teenager, he's in high school, he's racing through these hills, these same back streets and hills and up hills and down hills that JDM Car Culture enthusiasts race on and do battles on. So one day he's making his delivery, and he comes up behind one of the famous racers of that area, a guy named Ryosuke, right? And he's getting behind him, and Fujiwara, all he's doing is just trying to get past him so he can deliver his tofu. But Ryosuke thinks he's trying to race him, and the kid just beats Ryosuke like no problem. And Ryosuke has he has a turbocharged RX-7, like a supercar, right? In Japanese standards, like a souped up Japanese race car, right? And to him, he's totally amazed, because he's like, no way is a beat up AE86 that doesn't even have turbocharger in it, and it's just not even fit for racing, beat me, right? And that starts the story. And it turns out that Fujiwara is an excellent driver, and he goes up against Ryosuke and everybody in Ryosuke's crew, the Red Suns. He goes up against all these crews and destroys them. He goes up against Skylines in the AE86. He goes up against front wheel drive, the Civic Type R in the AE86. He goes up against Sylvia's in the AE86. He goes up against the Evo Lancer, the Lancer Evo, and beats him. He beats everybody. RX, he beats the RX-8. He beats the Miatas. He beats 350Zs. He's whooping everybody in this little AE86. And to me, that's like, man, I know how powerful those other cars are, but he shows that it's all about your heart, your passion, your skill in the driver's seat. That's what determines a true champion. It's not all this, the bells and whistles and the horsepower, because if you don't know how to drive a car like that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And if the other guy's skill surpasses yours, then you could have twin turbos, whatever. You could have all the enhancements that are possible on a car, but this other guy's gonna beat you because his skill is better. And then later on, Fujiwara's dad beats him in a Impreza that has a 4-wheel drive, and he's pushing himself even more. But that whole story had so much culture in it, man. Like how serious you saw these guys get, how much pride went into racing, and they would go out and train. They worked at gas stations and raise money so they can get upgrades on their car. They, sometimes they got in accidents and they really, looked down. It was really looked down upon, and it was embarrassing and stuff like that. But they kept going, and the guys, they had support of their teammates and their friends, and you saw how that lifestyle and that culture that they live intertwined with their dating relationships, with their parents, with their bosses at their jobs, everything. And I really think, besides making the AE86 popular, Initial D gave people who are in the anime a blueprint on what JDM Car Culture should be like. No, it actually gave people who are not even into anime, it gave people who are into JDM culture a blueprint over here in the States and in Europe and everywhere else. It gave people a blueprint on what the lifestyle should be like, and in a way that's not hurting anybody, or a way that has some moral fiber to it. It had a lot. It had a lot of good stuff in there. And it's one of my all-time favorite animes that I like to watch. Like, if you find it on, go out, do me a favor. If you haven't watched Initial D before, if you got a Netflix account, look it up on Netflix, Initial D. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you haven't watched Initial D, you need to do that. Yeah, so that's gonna be it for the show today. It was really great talking about one of my favorite animes. Like I said again, I'm a huge anime fan. I'm really big into anime as much as I am into JDM Car Culture and video games, all that kind of stuff, man. Yeah, chop it up with me. Stay a while. Chop it up with me. Chop it up. But yeah, that's been the show today. I'm your host, Shadow, aka Shadow Riders Leader, Shadow Riders Alpha. This has been a real fun show for me. One more thing, make sure you guys go check out ShadowRiders.com. That's where you can catch all the latest shows that we do. You can get all the hot Shadow Riders gear, them Shadow Riders decals for your car, them Shadow Riders shirts, them t-shirts, the headgear, the foot gear, the accessories, all the information on when we meet up at meets, our forum, so much information on ShadowRiders.com. You can get information on our mascot. A lot of people don't know we have a mascot. His name is Phantom. Find out all about him and his story and how he's connected to Shadow Riders at ShadowRiders.com. Get updates from me on ShadowRiders.com. This is where you want to go for all the hot stuff that we're doing. So until next time, I'll catch up with you guys later. And this is Shadow Riders Alpha, Shadow Riders Leader, aka Shadow, signing out.